We're now halfway through the 2021 legislative session. A lot of talk is on the many bills there in the legislature, but also the divide that now runs much deeper than politics. Our Ray Steele takes a look at this week's Statehouse Roundup.
It's halftime for the General Assembly. Normally, this is when we'd play But rather than make way for that, plus naturally bringing out the band for halftime entertainment, this year's session feels a little bit more like
this is the match you've all been waiting for. 2 out of 3 falls.
So we will consider this the brief break after the first fall. The bout that got everyone's attention this session.
No, it's impugning me as a legislator to say what I feel, what I read. So anybody who wants to address me after I get off this mic, you may address me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Was the one between members of the Black Legislative Caucus and several House Republicans. Last week's fight over a bill that would let neighborhoods switch school districts and whether or not that could lead to the resegregation of schools continued this week. There was new information about a confrontation that one lawmaker says happened in the men's room after he criticized what he thought were the racial implications of that bill.
None of us, as I said before, none of us as smart as all of us. And we need to listen to each other. And I refuse to be intimidated.
Black lawmakers continue to call for implicit bias training for all of the legislature. First-year Republican House Speaker Todd Houston will not commit to that, but he did say he'll enforce the rules of decorum on the House floor more strictly. The other storyline to watch in the upcoming second fall, the lumberjack match between the policies of the city of Indianapolis and Republican lawmakers trying to overturn them at the Statehouse. During round one of the session, the legislature overrode Governor Holcomb's veto of a housing bill. So it's now state law that Indianapolis cannot give additional rights to renters when it comes to how their landlords treat them. Halfway home are 2 other bills that would impact Indy. One would restrict Indigo funding, putting in jeopardy the expansion of mass transit. Also passed was a bill that would let the state attorney general appoint a special prosecutor to cases if a local prosecutor refused to go after certain offenders. That bill was proposed after Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said he would no longer prosecute low-level marijuana cases. The legislative bunkhouse matches continue with round 2 starting next week. With Statehouse Roundup, Ray Steele, WRTV.